मैं रेखा गुप्ता ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित
Rekha Gupta takes oath as the Chief Minister of Delhi, making her the fourth woman to hold the reins of the national capital.
भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी।
मिशन विकसित दिल्ली का है, उसको पूरा करने के लिए लगातार काम किया जाएगा। एक भी दिन उसमें से व्यर्थ नहीं होगा और एक एक कमिटमेंट जो हमारी दिल्ली से है उसे पूरा करेंगे।
Along with the Chief Minister, 6 others took oath. Jain slayer Parvesh Verma, who defeated Arvind Kejriwal, Sikh leader Manjinder Singh Sirsa, Purvanjali faces Kapil Mishra and Pankaj Singh. Punjabi leader Ashish Sood and Dalit face Ravindra Raj are now part of Team Rekha.
हमारा जो वायदा है दिल्ली से विकसित दिल्ली का, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे। हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में हर बात जो हमने बोली है हम उसको पूरा करेंगे, हम उसके लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं।
12 साल से जैसे अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने दिल्ली को बर्बाद करने का काम किया है, उजाड़ने का काम किया है, गंदगी फैलाने का काम किया है, आपदा लाने का काम किया है, उसमें से निकालने एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। लेकिन उस चैलेंज को देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी की डबल इंजन की सरकार के साथ मिलकर हम जानते हैं कि दिल्ली के लोगों को कैसी दिल्ली चाहिए।
भारत माता की।
The grand swearing-in ceremony at the Ramlila Maidan on Thursday turned into a show of strength of the BJP, which returned to power in the capital after 27 years. In attendance were Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Ministers from NDA ruled states.
We are very happy. Now new era is started in Delhi. Excellent development is going to take place. For the last 10 years, it didn't work well in Delhi. Now it is a new era.
My heartfelt congratulations to Rekha Gupta ji. It's a 27-year-old, rewriting the history again, recreating the history rather. It's a very beautiful victory. I feel under the Modi ji's leadership, in each and every state they could win.
वो निश्चित रूप से सफल होगी और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में एक दिल्ली के परिवर्तन की जो आस दिल्ली के लोगों को है वो उनके नेतृत्व में सफल होगी।
भारत माता की।
Women leaders and supporters too were in attendance, a signal of the empowerment from choosing a woman chief minister.
जैसा आप जानते हैं कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी केवल महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात नहीं करते, वो महिलाओं के नेतृत्व में देश के सशक्तिकरण की बात करते हैं, विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं। जब भी महिला पद ग्रहण करती हैं, इसका अर्थ है कि वो देश की नीति निर्माण में अपना योगदान करती हैं, वो देश की भाग्य विधाता बनती हैं।
Team Rekha takes charge of the capital and the new government has got down to business. The BJP has declared it will expose corruption under the earlier Aam Aadmi Party government. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, as Team BJP Delhi kicks off, let's get in some of the top political analysts and journalists to dissect what does the Delhi cabinet mean in terms of the 7 ministers that were sworn in today, and what's the messaging that is being sent out through that, and what can Delhi expect? Neerja Choudhry, senior journalist and columnist with us, Ashutosh, author, political analyst, Siddharth Mishra, senior journalist, Pankaj Vora, senior journalist. I want to cut across to Pankaj Vora first. Pankaj Vora, 7 of these leaders sworn in, 7 ministers. In all probability, we are going to get a deputy in terms of Parvesh Verma, the Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, and the 5 others that were sworn in today. What do you make of them?
Well, some of the names are on expected lines, but it is going to be a very difficult, path ahead for Rekha Gupta. She has some very dominating and very aggressive people who have joined her Council of Ministers. There are many who also nurse ambitions or had ambitions of being chief ministers themselves. And, going by the experience, because somewhere at the back of the mind of the BJP central leadership will also be the 5 years when BJP came to power between 93 and 98, when they had 3 chief ministers, despite the fact that Madanlal Khurana was an iconic leader who had, led them to victory in 93. but later, he had resigned. Mr. Saib Singh Verma had to also resign subsequently, and Sushma Swaraj had a very short tenure. So, Rekha Gupta will have to keep a watch and will have to, at every given opportunity, take the help of central leadership to ensure that there is no backbiting or any hurdles which are thrown in our path.
But Mr. Vora, for somebody, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but I'll just ask you a counter. For someone who's covered the Delhi politics for so long and you've seen various seasons of, Delhi politics, isn't this a different BJP? Because clearly yesterday, on the face of it, you saw everyone fall in line. Yes, the Delhi BJP unit has been fragmented in the past, lots of infighting, but is it different this time? Can they actually be dissent? Because it seems all-consuming when it comes down to the High Command.
No, the thing is that the High Command is very strong right now. Mr. Modi is the undisputed leader, but Mr. Modi is not going to be doing micromanagement on day-to-day level. There will be, when you are in administration, there are so many practical things that come in your path, and you have to overcome those. There is clear division of authority. There's multiplicity of authority in Delhi. The Lieutenant Governor is himself a very dominating person. There's speculation that the BJP may bring in a new LG who has a bureaucratic background so that there's a smoother functioning. And, the law and order and urban development are, and basically land are under the central government. People of Delhi who have voted for the BJP do not understand the fine distinctions. And they will expect the Chief Minister, the elected Chief Minister, to deliver everywhere. And she has a lot of promise. She's the second Chief Minister from the ABVP background to become the Chief Minister of Delhi. Mr. Khurana was the first, and now she's the second. And she's also the second person who has come in as the Chief Minister, who also had a stint in student politics. There are a lot of expectations from her, and she has no other option but to deliver and to ensure that her party this time succeeds. There are no excuses which will be taken because they are going to be in power. They are in power in centre. They are in power in all the adjoining states, and also they will be in power in the municipal corporation very soon. So let's wish her all the best and hope that she is able to carry her tasks.
Well, you are right, because it does seem that the Aam Aadmi Party is not very keen on taking on the BJP or putting out an aggressive fight when it comes down to the MCD election. So they could very well be a triple engine. Many in the Aam Aadmi Party actually feel that the MCD was actually the panoti which did them in. But Siddharth Mishra and Ashutosh, getting you both into this conversation. Siddharth Mishra, many would suggest the choice of Rekha Gupta was a surprise. She's low profile, low key. But she's somebody who knows Delhi politics very well. She might have been low profile. Also, fair amount of controversy over the last 24 hours where you have had the opposition, Aam Aadmi Party or even the Congress pull out old tweets, some of them unsavory, of Rekha Gupta, and a video where as a Parshad she's seen, vandalizing the municipal house in Delhi. So she knows Delhi politics. She knows how the Delhi BJP state unit works.
Rekha Gupta, is an experienced politician, both in the matters of electioneering and in the student politics. She has been the president, she has been the secretary, and her grooming has been as a very, very aggressive student leader. And in the MCD also, where MCD, those who have covered MCD house in person, we know that such occurrences are not really surprising in the MCD houses. Such things do happen in MCD houses. Nothing much surprising about it. What is being pulled out and showed about her. Such things do happen in MCD, and but there are no. The point which I'm trying to make here is that those who were propping up the names and everything, one thing they did not realize that yesterday also this thing came up for discussion. That she doesn't have or nobody in the cabinet has a ministerial experience. The reason for it is that for 27 years, BJP was not in power in this state. And so therefore, the question of anybody coming in with a ministerial experience would have to be somebody who has joined BJP either from the Congress party or for the Aam Aadmi Party. Say Arvinder Singh Lovely or Rajkumar Chauhan or Kailash Gehlot.
But in that situation, I think BJP gave a very, very clear message that your loyalty test has to be longer before you are given any ministerial assignment. Lovely has been a good minister under Sheila ji, performed well. Rajkumar Chauhan was thought, because since BJP did not have too many, most of their important Dalit leaders had lost the elections. So one thought Rajkumar Chauhan, with the long experience under Sheila ji as a minister in PWD department, could have made it on the Dalit quota. But here again they stuck to the line, and BJP decided to take somebody whose family has been a Sangh loyalist and a BJP loyalist, rather than taking Rajkumar Chauhan. So one thing was very, very clear, that nobody who has joined the party recently would be given a ministerial position, and that has been shown. As far as Kapil Mishra's case is there, he also comes from a Sangh background. His mother was the mayor of Delhi under the BJP. He parted ways with BJP precisely on the seat of Karawal Nagar, from where he has won now this time, and walked over to Aam Aadmi Party, from where he won as a MLA. Did not stay in Aam Aadmi Party for very long, resigned as a minister and went back to BJP, and did enough of street actions to regain the confidence of the Sangh and the BJP. So the most important point here was that BJP was very, very clear that people have to have a long term of loyalty towards the party. And one of the best examples of that loyalty quotient is Ashish Sood, who actually has had his child, who was a Delhi University Student Union president way back in 88-89.
Right.
And he has had his opportunity now. That is put so. And as he had mentioned, this 27 years that BJP was out of power.
Fair point.
And some of the older leaders did not.
Fair point. So you're saying, the ultimate message in the 7-member cabinet of Delhi is loyalty, and also somewhere down the line, awarding and rewarding those who've risen from the ranks, especially from ABVP, that if you've been a part of the system where you've organized all these gala functions, one day you could very well be, the person on which this gala is going to be organized around. So, that's what at least Siddharth Mishra says. But, what we'll do is, as I bring in Ashutosh, we'll play out that video which the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party is circulating, which Siddharth Mishra was talking of, that in the MCD house, these visuals are very, very common. And there you have Rekha Gupta, an old video which has got viral. Actually, not very old. This was at the mayor election. Rekha Gupta is a 3-time councillor when it comes down from the MCD, from the seat of ward of Pritampura. And you can see, indulging in a bit of vandalism, something which the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress has picked up. So, Ashutosh, the 7-member band, along with, of course, which Siddharth Mishra says, the underlining messaging, loyalty to the party, loyalty to the organization, is also, it's interesting because it's not devoid of controversy. You have somebody like a Kapil Mishra. You have, in all probability, now a Parvesh Verma who could very well be the Deputy Chief Minister. 5 of the 7 have criminal cases against them. You're on mute, sir.
See, Preeti, I think I was expecting a more cosmopolitan cabinet and a more cosmopolitan chief minister. On that ground, I was a little disappointed, but I was reassured further that BJP has decided to consolidate their Hindutva vote, point number 1. They have decided to award or reward the upper caste, which has very vehemently supports BJP across the country. In a state like UP, it supports almost more than 80% upper caste supports BJP. So I'm not surprised in that sense. Look at the choice of Rekha Gupta. Rekha Gupta is the 6th upper caste chief minister of BJP. Bhajanlal Sharma, Himanta Biswa Sharma, Devendra Fadnavis, and then
But Ashutosh, will you allow me a counter? Rekha Gupta also represents the Bania community all through the Delhi elections, that 32 to 38% vote share, which has always stayed put. Of course, the BJP is up the game in this election. Most of that also comes in from the Bania community in Delhi, isn't it?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That BJP has tried to reward and award their own social groups, which has been extremely supportive of the BJP. That's my point. So even if you look at the cabinet also, the Kapil Mishra and Rekha Gupta and then Pravesh Verma, all three, Rekha Gupta from the student days have been a ABVP, and those who know her know very well that she is very ideologically aligned with RSS, a very ideologically aligned person. The point number one, Kapil Mishra, everybody knows. He's a rebel rouser in that sense, very closely aligned with the ideology and wants to project himself as a Hindutva leader. Parvesh Verma's statements during the Shalimar Bagh, everybody knows. So the choice of controversial Kapil Mishra, Parvesh Verma and Rekha Gupta itself speaks of the fact that the BJP is not going to change, since ideology is giving them all kinds of premier, helping them win elections after elections. So let's invest on that. Let the media talk about, let the media show those visuals. Who cares? After some time, everybody will talk good things about Rekha Gupta, how wonderful she is. She's such a low-profile person. She's a part of the ideology. Everything is all right. But the issue is, when Kapil Mishra is there, Parvesh Verma is there, Rekha Gupta as a helm of affair means BJP wants to avoid and wants to make it very clear to the light and across the country that Hindutva, and Hindutva, nothing else.
All right. Okay, Neerja Choudhry, once again, for someone who's reported extensively and studied Delhi politics, what do you make of the new cabinet, Neerja?
You know, I think more than the cabinet, Rekha Gupta is a newcomer, newbie, I would say, compared to other leaders in Delhi who are much more senior to her. And this is going to be one of her challenges. One of her main challenges will be, given their seniority, she will be called to take them along as a team. Because they were all eyeing a CM-ship at one stage or another. Privately, they were all hoping for the top position. But, you know, why is Rekha Gupta being chosen? Number one, she's a woman. The BJP recognizes that women are emerging as a very powerful constituency. And even the RSS is recognizing that. Number two, she belongs to the Vaishya caste, the caste to which Arvind Kejriwal belonged. And he made inroads, not only in Delhi, for their allegiance, but all over the country. They were looking at him with new eyes and different eyes. And the BJP would like to create a situation now that the Aam Aadmi party does not raise its head again. So, you know, their calculation is also that. And number three, which is the most important factor, that the RSS has had its way in the elevation of Rekha Gupta. And, you know, the RSS is back on the table in the decision-making processes of the BJP, which had weakened, this link had weakened. And we saw the results in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Subsequently, things were ironed out between them. And we saw what happened in Haryana, in Maharashtra. Maharashtra also, they had a role in the projection of Devendra Fadnavis as the chief minister. And also in Delhi with these drawing room, thousands of drawing room meetings and the Karyakata coming out full force to ensure the victory of the BJP. So they have also had because Rekha Gupta has been aligned, as many of the others said, that with the RSS from the very beginning, student days.
Neerja Choudhry, allow me a question before I go back to Pankaj Vora. There seems to be a sense that the BJP Delhi unit has always been very divided, lots of infighting. You also touched on that, right, in the beginning, where you said some senior leaders of the BJP would have coveted the same title which Rekha Gupta holds, and it might be difficult. But do you see all that quell now? This is a different, seemingly, BJP unit this time. Do you think the workings of this, BJP unit will be different this time around?
Well, you know, what she has going for her, Rekha Gupta, is the complete support of the high command of the BJP, the center. The center will back her to the hilt. Therefore, she will not have the kind of problems that Arvind Kejriwal or Atishi had with the lieutenant governor. It'll be interesting to see whether the lieutenant governor gets removed. Now that, and he does other things. Now that he's not going to be facing the challenges that he did with the Aam Aadmi party. And she will have the complete backing of the RSS. So even though there are senior leaders, I don't think anybody will, at least in the beginning, speak up.
Okay.
In political parties, there are tugs and tussles and pressures and counter pressures, which can make life difficult, under the surface. So those kind of things she will have to contend with. As I said, taking everybody along and making a mark on the big ticket issues. This time, Delhi has set the trend for the country. You know, we want delivery on clean air to breathe. We want delivery on clean water to drink for our children. And that is something, you know, if it's only sloganeering, it's not going to be good enough. She will have to come up with an action.
You know, let me take that train of thought further. Pankaj Vora, the big challenges right now that are there in front of the New Delhi cabinet, because there's a lot that the BJP's promised. From the Yamuna, they've already given, Delhi a deadline, 3 years. And Yamuna will be clean. We've had many deadlines in the past made by many leaders which have, clearly fallen by the wayside. Now, not just the Yamuna, deliverance on what was the Sankalp Patra promise that the Prime Minister made in Delhi, saying by the 8th of March, 2500 would be delivered to the women of Delhi. Lots of promises there that needs to be delivered immediately. And lastly, what do you make, Pankaj Vora? Will, at least where the commentary coming in from the new cabinet seems to suggest that they will go after the Aam Aadmi Party on what they call allegations of corruption?
Well, I don't know. Hounding a government which has been in power and, going after them should be the last priority. Right now, the top priority should be how to set things right. If the Yamuna has to be cleaned, then they should have a, proper plan which works to the last letter, and if they have given 3 years deadline, then it should be cleaned. Mr. Modi has always wanted Delhi to be not only a smart city but one of the best capitals of the world. So his vision, if there is has to be implemented, then all these people who have been elected this time have to come down on the ground and deliver. There are multiple challenges which Rekha Gupta faces. She is from the Vash community, which, never got too many chances when the BJP had been in power in the past. It was a Punjabi domination in Delhi. It used to be Vijay Kumar Malhotra, Madanlal Khurana, Kedarnath Sahni. They were Vash leaders such as Kanwarlal Gupta, who never got that kind of an opportunity. Vijay Goyal was elected, but he was never made the chief ministerial candidate. Dr. Harshvardhan came closest to being the chief minister in 2013, could not become. And then, though there were mayors like Lala Hansraj Gupta, who was mayor of Delhi, a very respected man, very high up in the RSS, but his elevation was not because of his, being a Vash, but because of his hierarchy in the RSS. Now, when you examine the present government, there are two things. Rekha Gupta has worked as a councillor, as you yourself mentioned, on 3 occasions earlier. So she would know a lot of things which happen. The Delhi government has a very minimal role.
Right.
The maximum role which comes in the life of a common citizen is of municipal corporation. So she would know how to address. And she should, and the BJP central leadership also has to see what will be the role of people who have been left out. Vijender Gupta, Om Prakash Sharma, Mohan Singh Bisht, they had all won when BJP was in a problem and when Aam Aadmi Party was ruling the roost.
So all of that will be,
these three
I'm just running a little short on time. Mr. Vora, so all of that would be a problem. Siddharth Mishra, to bring you in, what would be the top challenges for, the newly minted chief minister? And alongside, would you think vendetta politics will also be big? Because we are, with all promises of deliverance, we also hear that now the Aam Aadmi Party will have to pay.
You see, one of the biggest damages which Arvind Kejriwal did, that he converted the Delhi bureaucracy from being one of the most efficient bureaucracy in this country to no bureaucracy. There are hardly any bureaucrats who wanted to be part of Delhi government, and all of them, there was in earlier time there was to be kind of resistance to getting posted to Arunachal, Mizoram, and such places. This time around, this last 10 years, there was a rush to get out of Delhi. First challenge before Rekha Gupta would be to restore confidence of the bureaucracy, because you can only make a government function efficiently if the bureaucracy, if you have the confidence of the bureaucracy, because the work has to be done through bureaucrat. And that was one of the biggest achievements of Sheila Dikshit, that whatever she achieved in matters of development of Delhi, it was through a very, very efficient bureaucracy, the chief secretaries, the PWD secretary, and such people along, Number one. Number two, coming to, vendetta, I don't know why people would call it vendetta. Because tomorrow, whenever the assembly meets, the first session, it has been said that for last 5 years, which the Aam Aadmi Party had kept the CAG papers under the wraps, and it has not allowed it to be tabled in the House. That is a legislative demand. हम constitution की बात करते हैं. ये constitutional obligation है कि those papers should have been placed before the House. And if those papers are placed before the House, and if those papers indicate that there has been large amounts of corruption,
so action would be taken.
So why shouldn't there be a
Okay. You know, what the bureaucracy is concerned, Siddharth Mishra, many would suggest it was better to leave Delhi because you were caught between the tussle of the LG and the Delhi government. So it's really not the Aam Aadmi Party at fault, but it's both sides there. You were caught in the middle of that, and you really don't blame the bureaucracy for finding themselves in a spot that they were. Want to bring in Ashutosh into this conversation. Ashutosh, you know, there's also a sense, along with the big challenges, and we've laid them out very clearly, the promises made in the Sankalp Patra, that needs to be delivered. Already a timeline given by the Prime Minister himself on the Yamuna of being the top priority, a 3-year time limit for the Yamuna to be clean. But, you know, when you come down off vendetta politics, which Siddharth Mishra says, why use the word vendetta politics? It's something that, or to use a term, the chickens would have come home to roost for the Aam Aadmi Party.
See, Preeti, I think this bureaucracy thing is unnecessarily hyped up for the simple reason because everybody knows that Delhi, the bureaucracy, the government will not be run from the Chief Minister's office, but will be run from somewhere else. Let's be very clear on that issue. So bureaucrats, and in the last 10 years, sir, I didn't speak, sir. In the last 10 years, the bureaucrats also played a lot of politics in Delhi because they knew that Aam Aadmi Party can do nothing. And so they knew that who is going to write the ACR. So they are playing politics too. I'm not telling them they are the very honest one in that sense. And they created a lot of the execution paralysis in Delhi also. They have to be blamed. About the vendetta politics, see, again, that will not be decided by the Rekha Gupta analyst, but it is decided by the Home Ministry and the Prime Minister office. And they will take it to the logical conclusion. I have no doubt on that issue because the Prime Minister in its speech itself has said, first time I heard any Prime Minister speaking something like this, and that was very clear that in which direction the Aam Aadmi Party has to be taken and what.
So you're saying it's going to be a shadow government, and there will be. We will see 100%. Action against the Aam Aadmi Party and what the BJP has alleged corruption charges. All right.
100%.
Okay. I know you want to come in, Siddharth, but I don't have the time. I want to bring in Neerja Choudhry for a quick comment. Neerja, top challenges before this government now?
I think very simply water and air. Of course, there are the freebies to continue. All that will happen. Safe city, all that is there. But if I was to say Delhi can really, and I suspect that the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and the BJP will want to make Delhi a showpiece for the rest of India. And this is an opportunity they've got after 27 years. And I think the critical thing is going to be water and air. Nothing can be more basic than that. And they'll have to go beyond promises, as I say, slogans, or even beautifying, embankment on the river Yamuna. That's not good enough.
Right.
The water are the citizens of Delhi.
Right. All right. I'm sorry I'm going to cut you short, but that's all the time that we have for right now. And I would reckon for all the Delhi citizens who are watching, right now, would agree with the last comment. Vendetta politics, everything aside, give us clean air, give us good water.